Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 3, and today I'm going to be giving you part 16 of What If Naruto Was a Genius Experimenter. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of Anime Prince, and over Anime King I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto Was Neglected with Joker personality, so go ahead check out that as well guys. And over on Anime King too, I posted a brand new series, yes guys, brand new series for you guys to enjoy. What if Naruto was trained by a special organization? So go ahead check out that and enjoy guys. And remember, if you're new, yes, I indeed have 3 channels. Well, 4 now to be exact. Anime King, Anime King 2, Anime King 3, and Anime King Prince, which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and destroy that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And yeah, without further ado, it is to begin this new episode starts. The intro guys. So the last spot we left off, we found Naruto inside of a room. Inside of the room was some special people, one of them being the Sage of Six Paths himself. The other 2 were his parents. The chakra that was left in his seal, along with the DNA of the Sage that Naruto was imprinting upon himself. As Naruto stood face to face with all of them, preparing to hear their judgment as his parents start to try and convince him to not take this path, to tell him that this was not the right way, that he was only gonna end up in misery and chaos. As Naruto got rather angry, why shouldn't the people around him suffer like he did, as he cursed and argued with them. As slowly but surely their talks start to work and bring him back over to their side. But the sage then noticed something as Naruto started to laugh, finding the whole thing rather amusing, to think they truly believed that he would switch so easily. Well, he had to say, he was disappointed how stupid they were, as Naruto was just buying his time to make sure that their chakra wouldn't be able to interfere with his. After all, they were still a part of the seal, and he'd virtually break it open by now. So with that, Naruto made sure to keep their chakra out of the system as the entire place was bathed in darkness. The sage gave Naruto a warning that what he's doing was only going to bring the catastrophic calamity down on him, as Naruto chakra exploded outwards. In the outside world, every single dojutsu reacted to Naruto chakra swirling in the air, as it seemed to notify them. However, they were not too sure what it was. Itachi, Pain, all of them felt it. However, Naruto also alerted something else. Something that was locked away for a very long while now. A woman peacefully sleeping away in her seal felt the presence as it was able to jolt her from her sleep. Something that shouldn't happen. However, Naruto chakra was similar to what would happen when she was freed. A warm smile lit up on her face as she felt a sensation that she craved, as Naruto was unaware of this though. While that was going on, as Anko and Gorin looked around, tears had gathered in Anko's eyes as she couldn't see Naruto anywhere. She couldn't find his body as she started to get angry, looking around, throwing everything around. She couldn't find him at all. He was gone. That is when the place started to tremble as his chakra started to be sucked together before it was pulled together, revealing Naruto. He was still not yet complete. He still seek the nourishments of the tail beasts. His Rinnegan was different. He had a totem in his eye. As Anko and Gorin felt the overwhelming power surging from him, it was unlike anything they ever felt before. It was overwhelming. It was ridiculously strong. as Naruto told him that he'll be coming back, and nothing will be stopping him from doing that. At Konoha, the war was getting more thick and tense, as people start to prepare themselves as the borders shinobi lines start to move out. The Akatsuki was unaware of the development. Rumors were being spread from all over the land that Naruto Uzumaki was alive, and he was playing a vital part in this, as they want to get him out in the open, so Obito had started to spread the rumors. The rumors had gotten so much that they got back to Konoha as Sakura asked Nandi if they were true. She told the girl not to get her hopes up. Perhaps it was just Kumo trying to play a trick on them or something. However, even she was starting to feel a bit off-putting by these rumors, as Jiraiya went out to investigate what was going on. Some time passed after that, not a long time, before Roshi and Han. They were away from all of this. Roshi and Han knew each other very well. Because of a certain issue with his body, Han had to be strapped away in a suit. And he come to understand someone like Roshi was being a Jinchuriki for the longest time. That is where Naruto came upon the both of them. At first, the both of them did not seem as a threat, because he did not release that omnipotent aura that caused the others to freak out in fear, as he stood there as he challenged him. Naruto showed them why. They were no match for him. The Anvu quickly rushed off to inform Tsuchikage as Naruto decimated the both of them. When Oniki arrived, Naruto informed him of his name, before he took the both of them and vanished. Oniki unable to do anything about it. While that was going on, Utsugata and Hodoro was making their way until they were attacked. Hodoro watched as Utsugata was suddenly defeated by Anko and Gorin, as the girls informed Hodoro that she should spread the name Naruto Uzumaki around. As the Anvus arrived not too long after, the hunter squad that had been searching for Utsugata all this time, they had felt a large pulse of chakra. It took them some time to get here as they saw Hodoro crying. They asked her what was going on as she explained to them what she had saw. As rumors started to spread even more in the Elemental Nation, the war was still happening. However, something was moving in the background. Something that no one expects, something that no one was prepared for. The thing that was gonna take everything away from them and drive them all into ruins and chaos. So yeah guys, basically as we left off, you guys can switch across the play, check it out for yourself, and also guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the other what ifs coming your way over on Anime King and Making 2. And yes guys, Anime Prince, I indeed have 4 channels that post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. Links will be down in the description, so go ahead and check them out guys. And yeah, without further ado, what do you say we just jump right into this new episode? Begin now guys. The Raikage sat at his decks. So far, the war has not been on a epic scale to call it a full-blown world war. Yes, there were skirmishes and attacks. However, there has been no detrimental meeting on the battlefield. No prominent ninjas have died so far. No Kages, no Kage level shinobi or Jinchurikis have entered the battlefield yet. However, he was concerned about the letter that he just received on his decks. The letter was from none other than the Tsuchikage. He had made contact with him before the war fully started about the demise of Konoha. However, to his surprise, Tsuchikage said that he did not want to get involved. Now that was a shocking thing, given the man's hatred of Konoha and his hatred of Yellow Flash. He thought that he would jump on board, but he guessed that was wrong. However, the Raikage was more concerned about what he was reading at the moment. He received a letter from Oniki telling him that something else was at play here. That there was a bigger scheme in the works that no one knew about. The Raikage overheard the rumors, of course. At first he thought that Konoha had the Kyuubi Jinchuriki outside the village and he had faked his death. However, the way things were set, it seems that Konoha was not allied to this person. Something really bothered him when Yujito had died. The sensors had picked up on no Bijou Chakra. There had to be some residents of Bijou Chakra after a tail beast was expelled like that forcefully. The chakra would have been flush in the area, but there was barely any trace to show that she even contained the Bijou. Not to mention, if a seal was placed on her in that magnitude, the Manatabi would have burned it off, or at least try to keep her body in a state of saturated constant Bijou chakra. While a seal was able to hold back the Bijou chakra, they could not place two seals that would simultaneously hold back the Bijou chakra and also keep as a bomb on her. The whole thing was a bit suspicious, and he thought. First, he believed that Konoha just had a hefty seal work on their hand. However, his man that came back from the city told him that the village leader there was acting a bit strange, and they could swear that he was lying. But the Raikage was confused. Why would he lie about Konoha Shinobi's being in his village? Not to mention the Raikage was so angry about the death of Yujito, he barely even thought about it. But now that he received this letter telling him that Naruto Uzumaki, a person who was running around the elemental nation collecting the Bijus for his own nefarious purposes, the Tsuchikage truly believed that this Naruto was the one behind all of this, causing problems between Konoha and also Kumo as well, for him to be behind the scenes collecting the tail pieces. As the Raikage was in deep thought about this, could this be true? Or could this be a trick? But why would Tsuchikage decide to involve himself and come after him of all people, if not Konoha? The whole thing was just so complicated and really didn't make sense. And now he's hearing a rumor that the 6 tails, the 4 and 5 tails have been taken by this Naruto Uzumaki. Just what in the hell was going on? Meanwhile, the Hidden Leaf Village. Jiraiya had a serious look on his face as he stood in front of Tsunade. She had her arms folded in front of her. As her face was set in stone, her mind was going through the information a mile a minute. She also received the shocking news from the Tsuchikage. Of all people, she didn't expect that. However, the man seemed to be concerned about someone playing them all for a fool. She was surprised by this turn of events. She was even surprised that Tsuchikage decided to stay out of the war and not intervene. Perhaps something changed his mind, perhaps something gave him a new outlook on life for him to be taking these drastic measures. However, at the moment though, the rumors have been flying around here. Members have been spreading rumors that the 6th tail has been taken away by 2 individuals. And also they gave off the name Naruto Uzumaki, while at the same time the 5 and 4 tails were ripped away from the Hidden Stone by Naruto himself. This can't be a coincidence, said Jiraiya. Too much time now as his name been popping around, and the Tsuchikage claimed to have seen him for himself, and now he has sent you a letter. Why, said Tsunade. He has never been favorable with Konoha, and we all know that. Why the sudden change of heart, she said. It seems like he planned for that as well. This morning I received information from my spy network that a message was delivered to the Raikage, giving off the same information as what was sent here. Just what in the hell is going on, she said. Could this be real? Could Naruto truly be alive? Even if he is, why? Why is he doing this? Why had he not returned back to the village? Jiraiya was quiet on that because he couldn't really tell her. He didn't understand that part at all. He remembered his memories with the blonde quite fondly. Naruto was not the strongest ninja, but he tried. Jiraiya had been trying to work with him, and he always felt apologetic for not being able to be there when he was younger. He could see that this was having a huge toll on Tsunade as well. Because Naruto was the one that changed her mind, he was the one that made her see the light. That returning back to Konoha and being the Hokage was the right way. Was that all just an act? Could this information truly be true? The Tsuchikage is the only one that has claimed to see him. Other than that, no one has seen him so far. If he was truly out there, what is his motives? What is he looking for? What is he trying to accomplish by taking the Bijus away? And how in the hell was he strong enough to take 2 Jinchurikis by himself? The last time Jiraiya saw him, he wasn't able to defeat Neji Hyuga in the exams. Granted, it has been a few years. Still, this information was mind-boggling. There was a knock on the door as Tsunade spoke up. Enter, she said. As the messenger team came to her, the head of the organization team. Ma'am, we received a letter from Kiri, he said. Just what the hell is going on now, she thought to herself. Meanwhile, at the Hidden Stone, Oniki sat behind his desk, a troubled look on his face. Oniki was a man of action, a man that has thrown hundreds of ninjas into battle just to see his enemies fall, sacrificing many of his ninjas for the greater good. That was a long time ago though. Certain things has caused him to change. War was not a good thing and everyone knew that. Throughout his long life, Oniki has had 4 children. His first 2 eldest died on the battlefield. And after that, a few years going down the line, Kurasuke's mother passed away as well on the battlefield. His last, youngest daughter, she did not want to become a ninja. She just didn't have that kunoichi spirit about her, but he loved her same way. As she was this delicate little girl that he always wanted to protect. After her sister had passed away, she had helped raise Kurasuke, devoting most of her life to take care of her niece, Kurasuke, as she never really settled down in the earlier ages. However, she just recently settled down some time ago, and she had a kid. And now he had a new granddaughter. Yes, he loved Kurasuke same way. They were all his family, but now, looking at that precious child, he didn't know why, but after losing so much, he figured that something might happen, especially when he heard about the War of Konoha between Kumo, and he just didn't want to lose them. His heart had gotten soft in his old age, and he knew that. That is why he was informing the other nations of what he believed. This Naruto Uzumaki seemed to be some kind of craft. Over the past few years, he has monitored the Hidden Leaf, making sure to see if they were truly telling the truth about the death of their Jinchuriki. From what he was able to gather, the information that he was able to get back from his spies, he was indeed dead. He had left the village to go and retrieve Sasuke Uchiha, and the body had not been returned. For the past couple of years, there has been nothing against him. Oniki knew that the life of a Jinchuriki was not an easy one. That is why he believed that this Naruto Uzumaki has been behind the scenes, playing everyone while they run about. As while you were warring, you did not look for the smaller details, which was him. He had already contacted Kiri, and he got back a message from them. The Mizukage was aware of the kidnapping of her Jinchuriki, Uchiha, as she understood that this boy might be a global threat. And if he was indeed the one starting the chaos between Konoha and Kumo, they didn't need to war because they were being played. That is why Oniki believed that it was only fitting that he called for a meeting between all 5 Kages. He has sent a letter to his son as he has not get any reply yet. The Kazekage there, he didn't know about her so well. But he did know that it was the daughter of the previous Kazekage there though, as he was waiting for a reply. But it was time that he made a move and called for the meeting. They all need to sit down and talk, to think about the real threat here. They were just wasting their time going after an imaginary enemy that was playing them behind the scenes. Meanwhile that was going on, Sasuke was baffled by the new information that was taking place. He recently found out that Naruto Uzumaki, the same Naruto that he plundered his hand through his chest, was still alive and moving behind everyone back. The 4 and 5 tails were taken, and also the 6 tails, and Naruto's name was in every single one of these captured. Sasuke didn't know what to believe. However, he had to keep a level head at the moment and plan for his next move. Meanwhile that was going on, Kabuto sat in his lab, a smile on his face. He wondered when Naruto would make a shock to the world. He never expected to be this soon, but it seems like he's ready, and he stopped pulling his punches, and the world is now aware of him. While that was going on at the Akatsuki hideouts, the members that remained of the organization were gathered. There were Hidan, Kakazu. There were Itachi, Kisame, himself, and also their new member, Tobi, who was acting a fool for the moment. So the 9 Tails Jinchuriki is the one that has been going around playing everyone. Is it correct to assume that he was the one that also took care of Deidara and Sasori as well? Yes, we believe that to be a fact. At the moment though, we don't know the true strengths that he possesses. He has been moving around the nation under everyone's noses, collecting data, doing what he feels like is necessary to advance his strength, without anyone noticing, and it has been a few years. The 1 tail went missing back in Konoha a few years ago. The 2 tail has recently been killed. The 3 tails never resurfaced. Even after all these years, the 9 tails did not come back up, which led me to believe that he is truly the one behind all of this. The 4 and 5 tails was recently kidnapped. The the Six Tails is also taken as well. At the moment, there is no news on the 7 or the 8 tails. So this guy basically has all of the tail beasts already stashed away. If he is a 9 tail holder, that means he only has a 7 and 8 to go after. Yes, but know that the other elemental nations are aware of this. Their Kages are making moves to avoid this calamity from happening. So what exactly are we gonna do, said Kisame. For now, we're going to wait. Let us see how this will play out. I believe soon there will be a talk between the 5 Kages to see what is their next course of action. At the moment, no one is speaking about us going after the tail beasts. We have blended into the background perfectly. That is why none of you will make a move that is too noticeable. We will wait for the perfect moment and then we will take them all. They have spent their time collecting them for us, but once we're to move, we'll take them all back. Is that understood? All of them nodded. You're all dismissed, he said. Once they were gone, only one remained, and that was none other than Toby. As Konan stood beside her leader, looking over towards the man. It seems I was right. Making this critical movement would lead us to victory. I was sure that we wouldn't be able to find him, but now, the other nations are hunting him down as well. The 7 and 8 tails are still under the elemental nation control. But how long is the real question here? Do you intend us to move right after we notify of him making a move, said Pain. Let's see how far he's gone for now. I will have Zetsu try to find out his exact location the moment he pop up. I have a certain feeling that he'll pop up towards his meeting at the 5 Kages. Do you really think that he would do something so stupid to challenge them outright? From the last time I was able to see him, which was the first as well, I have a sense that he has this sense of superiority and cockiness about him. I believe that he'd want to show his might. After all, he's now in the light. He can't hide forever anymore. We're aware of his existence. You're right about that. So for now, they would just let things play out to see how far they will go. The Akatsuki will prevail in all of this, and there will be nothing that will be able to stop us. Meanwhile that was going on, the whole place was a mess. The village was known as the Nitsuko village. Several Kunoichi's bodies lied on the ground, all of them dead. The main hall where the standard tall building stood, the 3 bridges that were connected to one another. The whole top was blown to pieces. A woman, long black hair, green eyes, was crawling away in pain as she reached towards the center platform of the room. Reaching towards the kunai that she saw, she picked it up as she turned and threw it. The individual simply plucked the kunai out of the air before he crushed it in his hand, rendering the piece of steel down to nothingness. The girl looked up towards him, fear in her eyes as she tried to look defiant. She had a few slash markings on her skin, as there was blood trailing down her cheek. That is when she heard gurgling and she looked forward to see her red-haired advisor was being held by the throat, as Uncle held the woman up. And she tried so hard too, Uncle said, as the woman was barely able to catch her breath. As Shizuka looked over, "Stop," she said. As Naruto looked down towards her, "Submit," he said to her. As Shizuka looked around her, as she saw Gorin came in the room, her left hand was coated in a crystal spear that was covered in blood. Everything went to hell so fast. The 3 of them just walked in and took everything that they wanted, destroying and killing anyone that stood in their path. As she realized that she refused to submit for any longer, they will end up wiping the village off the map. "Fine," she said. "Stop this." As Shizuka pulled herself up and bowed her head. "Fine, you get what you want." As he looked down towards her, he reached out with a hand as he touched her on the cheek. She grimaced as she pulled away from him. "It took you long enough," he said. As Naruto looked towards Uncle, who dropped Tokyo on the ground, the girl grasped but she held on to her throat, unable to catch her breath. The woman looked towards Shizuka, who could do nothing but lower her head towards This new dictator who was taking control. You know, if you had submitted earlier, there wouldn't have been any need for this bloodshed, said Naruto as he looked down towards her. Shizuka did not dare to lift her head, as she saw what he did to the people outside that merely spoke out of terms. She had to be strong for her people. She would do whatever it takes, even humiliate herself to make sure that her people survive, because without them they were nothing, as her people were the real hopes of this village, who was now under this powerful demigod rule, because that was the only thing that she could describe him as. There was no way in possibility that he could be a normal man. Time skip. Tsunade got the message from the Tsuchikage as she sat in the council chambers. The members in there were, well, silent, as they all looked towards one another. This could be a trap, said Homura as he spoke up. Yes, it could be, but it could also be the truth. What if they're not lying? Kira herself, the new Mizukage, has sent message to make it seem more believable. They have also personally sent one to the stand as well, as Choza spoke up. But if this is all true, he said, doesn't the implication of all of this mean that he's alive out there? As that quieted the members down for a bit. If he is truly alive, and he hasn't returned back to Konoha yet, this is a clear indication that he's against his village Setatsumi. Going around collecting tail beasts is definitely not for our benefit. You're right about that, said Choza. That means he's out there doing something that will not be helping us in the long run. And if that is not the case, I wonder what are his thoughts or intention towards his village. This is all just speculation at the moment. As of this moment, the only one that has claimed to see him is the Tsuchikage himself. And from the general description, it doesn't look anything like Naruto. And not to mention there was a detail in his eyes that he warned us about. It is said that he possesses the Rinnegan. The Rinnegan? The members said, looking at one another. Surely you're joking, said Tatsumi as she looked towards Tsunade. Tsunade gave her a blank look. But aren't those said to be the eyes of gods that the Sage of Six Paths used to create the world? Or the moon? The lore around it was rather lost in ancient time. So you're telling me that Naruto Uzumaki is alive out there with a Rinnegan collecting tail beasts, and he doesn't have a good intention towards his village? As all of them pale at that, they knew the life that he lived. For 15 years in this village, Naruto has not lived a good life. Homura and Koharu knew that especially, so they were the ones fretting the most about this new outcome. If this was true, then a lot of bad implications were going to be put forward, implications that they could not stomach. This was bad, really bad. The meeting was happening in a week, and they had no idea the outcome of this meeting. However, they're debating on whether or not Tsunade has to go, or should she go, when they were currently at war with Kumo. However, if someone was really plotting all of this, that meant that the two Kages were being used, and there was no reason for this war. That was the issue that they had to worry about right now. They were completely unaware of the calamities that were happening around the elemental nation at the moment. Time skip. Sasuke Uchiha sat on his throne. He was stalking the Akatsuki development and their movement, trying to find out where Itachi was, but the information about Naruto was getting to him. Could he truly be alive out there somewhere? At the moment though, at the front force, the Sound Four was still around and kicking. They had trained for the past couple of years trying to get stronger. Neither of them wanted to follow Sasuke. He was arrogant, bossy, and not to mention a prick. However, none of them can really defy him at the moment. He still possessed power to defeat them all if he see fit. But they were sure that he was not gonna stay in charge for too long after all. All of them didn't want him at the head of this table. Kabuto was being silent about this whole affair, telling them to just keep in line for now, until Teiwaya's thoughts were cut. As she looked forward, being a bit of a sensor not that great, it wasn't able to take a sensor to feel it. They were walking, calmly strutting towards the location. The base were underground. At the moment, the group had just returned back from a mission and were on the front line speaking before they returned back in. Sasuke had kept them busy and away from the base just to make sure that they had things to do, showing that he had power over them. He had asked them to do several things, gather several things for him that will help him in his endeavor, and they had no choice but to comply. However, the messed up thing was about this now was these three individuals that calmly walked towards them. Teiwaya remembered that night, as she and the others did not see Naruto after that night. The rumors about him dead, well, the truth was kept away from them. They did not know anything about that. Kabuto was the only one aside from Orochimaru and Gorin. The others did not know anything, because to them, Naruto had just been there, and he had exerted that pressure over them that caused them to almost wet themselves. Given their status and their standards, that might seem ridiculous, but it was so frightening, and Teiwaya felt it as he looked towards them. "You're alive," said Kidomaru, surprised by that. He had been hearing the rumors. However, Sasuke claimed that he had shoved a Chidori through his chest personally. "Yes. We didn't speak after that little encounter with the retrieval mission, but you all played a good part. My death was to be concealed from the populace. Tell me, how has Sasuke been doing?" "Where's that rat bastard?" said Gorin. "Gorin," said Teiwaya, as she remembered hearing that Gorin was killed by Sasuke. "I thought you died?" "Well, I almost did, but now I'm here, and I'm gonna rip that damn Uchiha apart." "The Sound Force," said Naruto as he looked at all of them. Once prominent guards for Orochimaru, but their master was stripped away of all his glory and killed. Anko grit her teeth at that. "Well, not that he didn't deserve it," said Naruto. "However, that's not important at the moment. What is important now? What have you guys been doing for Sasuke?" As Drobo looked towards him, uncertain about what they should do. "Well, it doesn't matter," said Naruto. "I'm taking control of the sound. Sasuke will die today, and you guys will fall under my control." Seikon scowled at that. "They're gonna lose another dictator to fall under another one. And who the hell said that we're gonna listen to you?" Seikon, said Gorin. As Seikon frowned at that. "You've been gone for a long while. There has been some changes. We're not just gonna easily fall under another dictator. Besides, what gives you the right to just step in here and order someone on what to..." Seikon gasped in shock. As he looked down, 3 black rods were embedded through his chest. Teiwaya's eyes went wide. Drobo moved back and so did Kidomaru, as Seikon collapsed on his side. As Anko looked down towards him, "He talked too much," she said. Having just killed the guy, she looked towards the other 3. "So, what about you 3, she said. "Have anything to say?" Naruto paid them no mind as he looked towards the building. He then proceeded to start to flare his chakra. They weren't given a chance to answer. Meanwhile, in the deep recesses of the underground base, Karin was far enough not to sense it because he was keeping himself suppressed. However, it then happened. Karin was talking to Sasuke until she dropped to her knees, as she started to violently puke. Her senses being override, as her mind went into a frenzy. "Karin, what's going on?" Sasuke said, as he also felt it. Him not being a sensor did not matter, the power was hitting him full force. Sasuke turned his head towards the exit. "What the hell is that?" Karin clutched her arms around her legs as she shook. "No, don't go," she said. Her voice barely came out. Sasuke walked through the hall, his Sharingan flaring to life as he walked. Not a care in the world. He will crush anyone that tried to come across him. Sasuke was not the best sensor. All he felt was a large amount of chakra. He did not understand what Karen felt. He did not understand the fear that he should be feeling at the moment. Sasuke stepped outside, which took him a little while, but he was walking at a sedate pace. That is when he saw none other than Gorin. He was about to say something until, "It's been a while, Sasuke." Sasuke froze. That voice. He remembered that voice. He turned. Sasuke looked him from head to toe. Seeing the similarities, there were some changes, but it was him. "Naruto," he said. "Yeah. How's it been going?" "Well, just looking at you can tell that you've been through some changes, Leader of a village. Good on you," said Naruto. "You've really grown into your position. Orochimaru 2.0, if I would say." "I'm nothing like that man," Sasuke said, his Sharingan blazing. "How are you alive? I remember stabbing my hand through your chest. I remember feeling your heart stop beating. I destroyed it." You see, Sasuke, reality can become an illusion at many times. And back then, I loved to mess with reality. So most that you witnessed and saw was not real. But know this, I'm here. You see now, Sasuke, changes have been made. Plans have been sped up. It was good in everything that you've decided to take control of this village, but unfortunately, you're gonna have to die. Sasuke frowned at that. You think you can just walk in here and demand my death? You should have stayed dead, he said, because standing in my path won't get you a one great ticket to none other than the afterlife. Oh, that's where you're wrong. You see, I won't be the one fighting you. She will. Gorin clenched her fists. You? Sasuke said. Don't make me laugh. The last time I was... Sasuke monkeyed to flirt to life rather instantly, because his eyes saw it. Immediately his Susanoo formed in front of him as Gorin's fists connected with it. To his shock and horror, the thing exploded. Gorin's fist broke right through and slammed into his face, launching him backwards. Sasuke skipped off the ground like he was some sort of toy, before he crashed into the wall rather roughly. Naruto had enhanced Gorin's body to a ridiculous degree. Anko might have the visual powers, and because of that she gained some sort of durability, but Naruto gave Gorin all the durability that the sage would possess in his enhance, that he passed down in his children from, well, the Senju area, but it was the entire potency of that. Gorin wasn't just strong, she also had the chakra to boot. She had the natural body of a sage of six path. And not to mention with her crystal release bloodline, she was virtually indestructible to a degree, as her entire body was coated in a thick sheet of armor by her crystal, which were far more enhanced than they had before. Her crystal could cut almost anything in this world and break almost anything, including Sasuke, in perfect Susanoo. Sasuke peeled himself out of the wall. Gorin had this vicious look in her eyes. I'm gonna enjoy ripping you apart. Sasuke spat out blood. Lucky shot, he said. Trust me, it won't happen again. Naruto sat down on a throne that just rose out of the earth. Anko came over as she sat in his lap, as Naruto held her thigh and held on to her. The both of them sat there watching the show. The Zone 4 remaining members didn't know what to do as they looked towards one another. They decided not to get involved, allowing this to just play out. Besides, even if Gorin lost, Teiwaya looked towards Naruto as she doubted that he would lose to Sasuke. There was just something about him, something that in all actuality scared her. As that was going on, Suigetsu had saw the whole thing, and he decided to make a play to kill Naruto. Seeing that this guy came here to kill Sasuke, he was now under Sasuke leadership, as he slowly moved on the puddle on the ground. He waited until he was right beside the throne that Naruto had created until he burst upwards, his blade aiming towards Naruto's neck as he stabbed down. The remaining Sound members were shocked. As Anko spoke, how long do you think this will take, she asked. Well, judging by what a good mood Gorin is in, if she truly wants him to suffer, well, he's gonna suffer, said Naruto. He had no doubt that Gorin was gonna kill Sasuke. At first, Naruto was gonna look forward to see a battle between Sasuke and Itachi, but now, he didn't really much care about that. He was making his move, starting by taking all of the smaller nations. He had made sure that they understand the position they were in, and anyone that went against him would receive. Well, he already gave them a vision of the future to come, if they step against him, and they understand rather fast. The Stone 4 was still in shock as Naruto spoke so casually, as he held on to the blade that Suigetsu had stabbed down towards him. Suigetsu was confused. What the hell, he said, as Naruto was holding on to the blade, with 2 fingers and Suigetsu could not move. Suigetsu then felt a crushing feeling settle on him. It felt like all the gravitational force around his body was propelling downwards. He dropped to his knees, releasing the blade. Anko turned towards him. As the Rinnegan pulsed, goodbye, she waved her hand. Suigetsu's body exploded into water as he was blown away violently. Whether he would reform or not, that will take a while, but still, there was a chance he was blown to pieces too, small to reform. Well, he is a part of the Hoshi clan, so there was a chance he would. Over towards the side, Sasuke was grunting in agony as a fist ripped into his guts. Shock, as he never expected her to be this strong, blood castrated down his mouth. She proceeded to turn and slam her elbow into his face, throwing him backwards. She rushed upon him as she appeared behind him and kicked him straight up in the air. Enough, he yelled, electricity gathered on his palm. He thrust it outwards, however, her hand became locked in a crystal. She proceeded to stab it inside of Sasuke's lightning-covered hand. As it cancelled out his technique, Sasuke barely even scratched her crystal as she slammed her forehead into his. Sasuke staggered back, dazed from the hits, confused by how she got so strong in such a short amount of time. Amaterasu, he said, as black flames consumed her entire being. However, Gorin stood there unfazed in the black flames. Sasuke was confused. Why aren't you burning? Amaterasu, he said, as more black flames started to swallow her. The crystal shrouded on Gorin's body started to crack under the intense heat. However, she simply pushed more chakra out as she started to shed the crystal that peeled off her skin and fell to clumps in the ground. The black flames falling off immediately. Her body was once again crystallized. Sasuke's eye was now bleeding as he charged forward. They clashed. Crystal dagger versus his sword as Sasuke Kusanagi was broken in half. Shot by the strength, he staggered back, not expecting this as he flashed through hand sign, fire style. Fireball jutsu. He launched a fireball toward her. She slammed her hand on the ground, creating a crystal dragon that rose up within seconds. She barely needed to perform hand signs anymore. The dragon tore through the fireball. Sasuke leaped as it slammed into his shoulder. Before he could completely get away, it knocked him to the side as he flipped. He jumped away as he fired several more fireballs towards her. However, she either evaded or destroyed them. The both of them kept on clashing until the place started to turn dark. Not because of the day turned to night, but Sasuke's efforts. Sasuke was panting as he was running low on chakra. This time he went in a rage as he could not be defeated by this woman. He had not even fought Itachi yet. A Susanoo flared up around him as he had enough. The half-body form as he created a bow and arrow. Gorin flashed through hand sign of her own to sum up this chakra to create this technique. It was a rather hefty one, requiring her to use hand sign because majority of this fight she did not. A surge of chakra that eclipsed whatever chakra Sasuke just used flashed through the air. A gigantic dragon made from crystal. The thing was enormous, towering over Sasuke's Susanoo because of the head that went up like a serpent. Sasuke aimed as he fired as the dragon shot. Hundreds of crystal from its mouth. Crystal and light arrow clashed together as the both gigantic avatars started to clash. Gorin sent gigantic serpent towards Susanoo, smashing it back as Sasuke created another arm with a blade and started to slash them down. However, the thing was Sasuke was running out of chakra. He was running out of chakra fast, to the point where Susanoo faded back into bones. That is where Gorin launched herself as she broke it with a single punch. She tore right through it as Sasuke was knocked back in the wall. He forced as he flipped himself up to the top. He raised his hand to the heavens as the electricity started to gather. "Now you die, Gorin," he said as he brought his hand down. The lightning dragon hissed from the heavens as it shot down and the place went white. Dust and debris and everything was thrown towards Naruto and the others. However, everything seemed to just go around Naruto and Oniko, the gravity force thus blocking everything their way. As they watched a spectacle, the throne that they were on was now levitating off the ground, so they could watch everything go on. When the smoke and dust cleared, Gorin, Crystal Dragon, was standing above her. Its body crumbled away after being hit by that technique, but Gorin was completely fine. "No, no, 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 no," said Sasuke in rage. He couldn't be losing like this. This was impossible. He was supposed to kill Itachi. Gorin launched her hand forward as a crystal stabbing to his shoulder. Sasuke staggered as he dropped to one knee, bleeding. She threw another one and stabbed him through his other shoulder before she impaled him right in his legs as he cried out in pain. She walked up as she kicked him right in the face, throwing him back towards the wall. Gorin had a smile on her face. This made her even more grateful to Naruto than she's ever been, for giving her this power, for making her be this powerful. She was leagues above the Uchiha. He stood no chance against her. As she smirked. However, Sasuke started to cry before a gigantic serpent-like creature exploded from his neck where the curse mark was. An 8-headed Hydra was created. Oniko looked up as she watched with narrowed eyes. "Is that? It seems like it is." Orochimaru came from the tongue of the thing. Well, 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 he said, looking around. "It seems that the place has changed a lot since my so-called death," he said. "Oh my, Gorin-san, seems like you have gotten a lot more powerful." "Orochimaru," she said, not giving Miss Sama respect that he deserved, because she was no longer his pawn. Now, Gorin, where's your manners?" Gorin clenched her fists. "I no longer belong to you," she said. "Or do I work for you or listen to you?" "Is that so? The moment I am gone for a while, you just run off and betray me. How quick you are to switch." Gorin clenched her fist. That is when she felt a hand placed on her shoulder. She turned to see none other than Oniko. "Let me handle this." My. "Oniko, what are you doing here?" Orochimaru said, before he glanced over. Well, Naruto-kun, it seems like you were playing me behind my back." "Yes, it seems that way," said Naruto. "However, I did promise her that she would get her revenge against you, and your death prevent that from happening." "Well, no, darling," said Naruto. "Have your way with him." Orochimaru chuckled. "Do you really think that—" "Wait," he said in a pause as he saw Oniko's eyes. "No, that's impossible." "Oh, you have no idea what's possible, you freak," she said. "Finally, I can do this." She thrust her hands as several black rods impaled in the snakes. Orochimaru felt a dose of overwhelming chakra flood his system. The eyes of the Rinnegan and Byakugan was over his head as he felt a swirl of chakra. Oniko used that to run up towards where he was. Orochimaru snapped back in focus, but she was already there. "Now you're mine. Universal pull." The force gripped him tight and started to rip. Orochimaru snarled as he refused. However, he was torn out of the tongue. His body pulled and collapsing down to the ground. The Hydra no longer had a head to support it as it starts to thrust around. Wildly, Gorin jumped forward as she decided to rip it apart. Orochimaru, on the other hand, almighty push. The attack broke him through several walls as he came to a skidding stop. The Zone 4 did not move from where they were as Naruto glanced towards them. As he turned back towards the fight, Oniko made her way towards Orochimaru. He was not in a state to even put up an effort. Scream could be heard as Oniko impaled him down to the ground. She kept on digging black rods into his body until he looked like some kind of pincushion before she gripped his head. "You don't know how long I've waited for this, she said. I can finally say I end your miserable, disgusting, pathetic life. You think you can kill me, child, he said. I created you. I made you what you are today. You might have turned me into a weak girl that relied on your self-insurance back in the past, but no more. Because of him, I'm stronger. I'm better than I've ever been. And now, you're done. As she ripped his soul clean out of his head. The body of Orochimaru dropped lifeless down to the ground. Back to the other side, Sasuke was crawling away in fear. Do you know what Yukimaru went through when you had him killed? Because of your stupid ambition, she said. Sasuke snarled as he spat, not knowing who the hell she was even talking about. I refuse to die like this. I am the last Uchiha and I... Sasuke was cut off as a crystal lance was driven through his stomach, leaving a gaping hole through him. Sasuke looked down. It can't be. As Naruto walked over towards him, his vision started to blur. He was already low on chakra. As Naruto patted him on the side of the face, come on now, he said, stay with me. No, I have to kill Itachi. Oh, don't worry, said Naruto. He will die. When he learns about your death, there is no chance that you won't come after us and try to get revenge for what happened. You see, I've learned that Itachi is not as heartless as you let him out to be. Before you die, you should know. Itachi was ordered by Danzo Shamira to kill your clan because you were planning a coup. Sasuke's eyes widened for a fraction of a second as he looked at Naruto like he was crazy. Just some information I picked up back in the past. Sorry for not telling you, said Naruto, but it doesn't matter now. You're gonna see them again. You can finally rest and be with your family. Sasuke's hand collapsed down to the side. He was losing too much blood. He could barely see. He wouldn't be able to fulfill his revenge as he felt life slipping away from him. Gorin pushed the thing deeper inside of him, tearing through his lungs as she destroys vital organs. Sasuke's head drooped as it collapsed, dead. Her hand returned back to normal. He deserved much worse, she said. As she released a sigh, he's finally dead. As her mind was filled with the thought of killing Sasuke ever since she lost Yukimaru, she turned towards Naruto and her emotions were at full peak as she hugged him. Thank you, she said. Thank you for everything you've given me. As Naruto simply hugged her back. It's alright, he said. I told you that I will never let you feel such pain again. And I'm a man of my word, she pulled apart. As she looked at his face for a long few seconds before she leaned in and kissed him. The kiss only lasted for a few seconds as she pulled back, looking a bit embarrassed despite everything. Despite her being covered in blood a bit, she looked embarrassed. As Naruto found the whole thing rather hilarious. It was good to laugh in moments like these. Anko came back dragging the bloody carcass off Orochimaru as she set it aflame, with a peaceful smile on her face. Gorin was about to destroy Sasuke's body until Naruto stopped her. Even in death, there are things that he can do, said Naruto. Time skip. As Naruto looked down towards his wrist, seeing a seal light up as he went through one-handed seals. Poof! His hunter appeared. Sir, I just got word that there's a meeting being called between the 5 Kages. The main course of action that is being discussed is you. It seems like word has finally gotten around that you're the one behind the shadows, making the moves. Excellent. When will this happen? 3 days. Despite the current affairs between the two Kages of Kumo and Konoha, they're all gonna meet up at Land of Iron. Good, he said. Continue to gather as much as you can, and inform me when you find out. Yes, sir. The hunter poofed away, as Naruto was more than happy finally. He get to reveal himself to the world, in front of all the 5 Kages that is. He can finally sit down and have a peaceful talk with them. Well, not peaceful, he was sure that they were gonna go against him, but soon enough they will understand that They're already in his pocket, already in the center of his palms. It is just a matter of time for him to... Naruto snapped his head to the side, feeling a strange sensation before he looked up. But he was gone. What was that, he thought? Time skip. Anko was lying in bed with Naruto, who was asleep. After a hefty day of conquering nations, well, minor nations, it can really tire someone out. The sound was now under their control, like many more others. Soon enough, well, tomorrow, there will be a lot of chattering going around when Naruto made another critical move. Anko felt like she had to go to the bathroom and she got up, making her way. Naruto owned a lot of hotels around the Elemental Nation, as he also owned the entire snow, and not to mention the entire Gato shipping company. And not to mention several more things that was going to be crucial in this upcoming war that is to come against him and the rest of the Elemental Nation. However, she came to a stop when she saw Gorin outside, hesitating to knock. As she looked at her confused, "Gorin," she said. "Oh, Uncle." Gorin looked nervous. It was the first that Uncle saw her look this nervous. "There's something I want to talk to you about." "Can you wait? I need to go to the bathroom." "Yeah, sure. Go, I'll talk to you later." "No, just stay right here. It won't take a minute." As Uncle made her way inside, curious to what Gorin wanted to talk to her about, she came back a few minutes later. "So, what's up?" It's about Naruto." "What about him?" "Well, you see..." Meanwhile, as Naruto was sleeping, unaware of this conversation going on. However, he did not find himself in a place that he knew. At first he thought that Sage was messing with him, somehow retaining some of his chakra in his psyche, but that was not the case. "Ah, I see you finally. Are you able to sense my presence?" "Who are you?" said Naruto. "In due time you will find out. But know this, I've been watching you, and I can see, you are surely a fine human specimen." "Human specimen? You speak like you're some kind of otherworld deity." "In that sense you can say that." As Naruto glanced around, "Show yourself," he said. "I'm afraid this is the best I can do. Without you reaching out, I can't really grasp the reality that you're in. But I want to. But I would need your help to do so. I need you to reach out to me, so we can have a proper conversation, so we can talk. Because I would like to get to know you, and I'm sure that you want to do the same. Our mutual contact will be beneficial for the both of us." "Well, for one thing, I can tell that you're no normal person. You don't feel normal," said Naruto. "So yes, you're right about that. I would like to know you, but at the same time, the process of me stepping forward into your domain is a big risk for me going in without knowing who I'm talking to." "Oh, well, that's simple. You see, I am the one that brought it all. I am the one that has been locked away for something that she just wanted back. You seem to know my son personally, after all. You have absorbed his essence inside of yourself." "Your son? Are you speaking of the sage, Hagoromo?" "Exactly." "So you're his mother. Oh, I see now. Let me guess. You're the great calamity I will unleash on the world. That is what he was speaking about. Always so hard on me. Always so cryptic with his words. Tell me, does that make you fear me?" "I fear nothing," said Naruto. "Now tell me, where are you?" "As I said, I'm not on this plane of existence. However, because of you turning into what you are right now, your chakra has been able to reach me, and I was able to cling on to a small amount of it. So it's up to you now to find me and seek me out. I assure you, revealing yourself to me so that we can talk will be greatly beneficial to you. Oh, I have no doubt about that. After all, I would love to get to meet the woman that gave birth to the sage and his brother, and learn more about you. And what exactly are you?" said Naruto. You seem to have opened up a new possibility that I could never even imagine. Something that I was not going to embark on, but now, you've opened my mind and I wish to see what exactly is on the inside. Well then, come and find me, and I'm sure that you will get the answers that you seek. A wicked grin came on Naruto's face. It seems like he's just barely breaking the premise off. What exactly this whole world know, this universe entail? How far will he go? How far does this go? The endless opportunity, the endless things that he could learn and use and twist to his own sick games was so overwhelming that he could only smile. But guys, me and subscribe right here for this person. Do like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in social media platform. And also guys, don't forget to stay in tune for what is coming your way. And I hope you guys enjoy each and every one of them over Anime King, Anime King 2, and Anime Prince, guys. I hope you enjoy every one of them, guys. But for now, I'm out. See you guys soon. Peace, guys.